MRVL. Talk about murder on the dance floor. It was a bad day. It was a bad week. It's been a bad month for Marvell. Um, and I'm not saying, things are going to be looking bright and sunny coming up soon, but it's got to take a breath, right? Well, let's just recap, right? Marvell is one of my favorite stocks of 2026, and now my most hated stock of 2026. No, not really. It's a correction. It's an adjustment. So what we had here is great product. Everyone started realizing it, and then that Computex or Comtex, that the the meeting in Taiwan, and Jensen came out and said, "Hey, everybody, buy Marvell," literally saying buy Marvell. And I remember live with a group chat, and we were just going to kind of really enjoying it, and I was really enjoying it. I started taking profit, and then buy the dip, right? That's what everyone tells you: buy the dip, buy the dip. Okay, great. I buy the dip. Keeps going. We buy the dip. Okay, what's going on here? What's going on with Marvell? Well, it was an extreme move, and some distribution happening here, and now some more distribution, and now we're trying to find, and maybe not the bottom, but at least a little bit of support for some breathing room, right? And if we just look left right here, this was a nice voluminous activity here back in April, finding resistance and support before taking off, and then to the resistance up here at 327. We've now cut that more, just about in half, right? 329 down to 160s. This looks like a good support system, right? And it's not just random trickles down. There's a little bit of uh, strategy, almost. Not really, maybe not strategy, but it makes sense when you look at the technicals and some indicators. Right here, the volume profile, right? Obviously, up top, we have a lot of volume being distributed to people that were in it now, or now selling to the people that think we're going to go higher. And now when we go back over this gap, there's no volume there. So it's like sliding down a ladder with no rungs. And with the overnight trading and everything, we just had a lot of gaps, and it was just it was like almost untradeable, right? Because during the day you had no movement, and overnight it would pop down, and pop up, pop down. Very frustrating. Very frustrating for me, at least. So where are we now? So in the beginning, we had this bull pole with a bull flag. Looks pretty nice. Okay, great. We did this flag, and then we're going to go higher. Ran into resistance, became a double top coming down, and I'm going to put on the drawings here. So this was the initial bull flag. In it. Resistance. Okay, great. We're just going to extend that bull flag, and then we drop down into the next channel. This next channel brought us all the way down to the 160s. And this line right here, this is the one we were just talking about. This would seem like an obvious good support. Okay, before the catalyst that drove us up, we're going to come back, meet here, and regroup, guys. All right, so everyone go. It's like going to the mall with your friends. All right, guys, we're going to meet back here at 3:30, and see you then. So what happens? We come back, and Johnny, he's not here yet. Well, where's Johnny? Well, he's still in Hot Topic. He's still shopping around. Well, Johnny's not going to be back here. We're gonna slide down more. So all the silly jokes aside, we may not. This may not be the bottom, but hopefully this is a part where we can get a little bit of a little bit of a bounce, right? To kind of rebalance your own. I'm just going to talk. I'm going to say I'm saying mine. Rebalance my portfolio instead of just trying to, manage puts to protect your portfolio. Right here could be a real time to rebalance it, right? And if we look at the volume profile, which served us pretty well so far, the next voluminous area isn't down to the 80s. This super boring last year into the 2026, just trading sideways. It looks sideways, but it's really not. It's like 70 to the hundreds, backs and forth. That was some good trading for options in and out. But if we're talking where the bottom is, it may not be 160. It would make sense. It would be great. And we look at the indicators here. MACD is still far apart. There's no sign of crossing on the daily. So this is kind of in the histograms turning more bright red. This is actually suggesting more down, right? And this is just basically an RSI with some Bollinger Bands added to it. And usually with the Bollinger Bands, once you top out, you look towards the bottom. So if we topped out here, we just followed up. We topped out here in price, and then we came down. Well, then we bottomed here. So, okay, all in, right? We should go back all in. But now we're in the gap, and then the gap became resistance. When you're looking back, Monday morning quarterbacking it, it tells a story. But when you're in it, you're like, okay, this is it. I'm buying the dip. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. This is a great company. And by the way, MRVL is a phenomenal company. They have a pretty strong moat as far as I'm concerned. They're ahead of the networking connectivity, the photonics, and they're still incorporating copper. They got both worlds kind of not on lock, I would say, but they're just ahead of the game. And NVIDIA, which is new, it's the bank of NVIDIA now. NVIDIA investing in everything that it thinks is going to be great for the AI future. They're invested, I think, to $2 billion and change, or maybe just straight $2 billion. So you're thinking, if NVIDIA thinks it's good, why isn't my money in there? So let's go back to the RSI coming down, touching. Now we're at the 30 mark. We're doing about a double bottom, but 30 is not a hardcore bottom, because even this stock alone has breached it, and we went below it. And then you think, oh, once you breach below it, you're going to fly back up. 46, granted up to 80, that's doubling it. Doesn't look as beautiful as this does, but when you're in it, doubling is good. So we're going to keep an eye on this level, right? We're going to keep an eye on this level, and we're going to think it's going to retouch the 180s. And it's not just out of nowhere that we're thinking this, because if we go back in time, this actually is it's a structured move downward, right? We touched support, bounced up, resistance, touched support again, resistance, touched support. When we broke it, the next support we found, we came back and returned that support into resistance, came back down again. When we broke that support, we came back down, we found new support, we went up and we turned that support into resistance again. So it's doing it in a structured, and it's failing hard in a structured format. And to say failing is probably not the right term. It's correction, right? What goes up must come down eventually, right? Or maybe not when we're talking about SPY. But the idea of that it's just not free falling is actually a good thing. So here we are at 163. Tomorrow and the rest of the week, we can look for a sign, maybe not this week, but maybe into next week, to climb back up and touch this resistance, right? So make it here like August 4th. By August 4th, we come back up and we try and find, if not here, which is like the 180, maybe even a 190. We're going to touch the trend line, which has been respected. And the horizontal, which was a point of contention here, we want to find that as resistance again. And if we incorporate some GEX, I love my gamma exposure. If we incorporate that, this is for this week, right? Expiration the 31st. 165 is the stronghold. It's also our absolute GEX. So there's no reason to move away from this. This is kind of shining a little brighter, and the 185 does not sound familiar, right? We just talked about that, right? If not the 170, did I say 170 or 185? Right here, 185. 185 right here would be a good retest. It would make sense. We have a double bottom on the trend line, and if we get into it on the 15-minute, if you think maybe my trend line is just, oh, that's your opinion, bro. It's respecting it, right? Touch. And now we've broken below it. If tomorrow we open up below this trend line, it's going to be a flush down to the next one, 145. If we open and we get above it and we start using this again as a support, we may have a move up to the 180s. Right, so here's 180 right here. And then through 180s up to the 190. I don't see going higher than 192 here unless some type of catalyst happens. And let's just go back, look more left, more trend line support. So the trend line is not arbitrary. It makes sense. It's following the trend line. It's letting us know that's there. It's not just my eyes only. This is a little concerning though, that we broke through that trend line and the support. And when we came back up, look, resistance, resistance, resistance. And then after, not even after hours, but overnight, now it's almost 9 o'clock. Overnight, we broke it and we're on the upside. So if we're going to tell a story, on where we're going to go, let's incorporate some GEX. We're going to go next week. Right? If we're going to tell a story of where the price is going to go, because it's not a straight line, right? We're going to see 185 as a strong position. This has got the absolute GEX on it. And the highest GEX, the highest positive GEX, 185. The next absolute GEX, the second one, is down at 150. 170 is in between the price where it is now and higher. So this could be a pull up, if not down. So again, if we open below the trend line, 150 looks good. There's not much reason to go down further yet. So if 150 hits, that could be an entry for a swing move up to 185. The other alternative path that could happen is if we open closer to 170, we get some momentum, we hit 185 first, and then swing down to 150. But keep in mind, these bookends, once they're reached, you're going to want to look on the other end of that. So it's a momentous stock. I think there was actually some large orders placed today for a significant amount, rather than just dumping. So we got that going for us. So we want to make sure that we're not trying to get ahead of it, but we also don't want to be too lagging behind. The idea is that we don't want to get into calls or buy shares before the bottom is found. But we also don't want to wait for over conviction or over confirmation to get into our play, because then it'd just be a little too late. So scale in, right? If you normally buy 5 calls, buy 1, add another, or buy 2, add 2 more, scale in, buy 2. If it goes opposite of you, okay, you're just losing the percent off those 2 positions. If you're buying shares, if you want to buy, if your position is going to be 25 or 50 shares, buy 5 at a time, buy 10 at a time. Scale in as it moves in your direction. Try it. If that's not the way you've done it before, try it and see what you say, what you if you like it or not. But also keep in mind that I'm not your financial advisor. You do it with your money, what you want. Just giving you a suggestion here. So incorporating technical analysis and our GEX information is a way for more confluence in our moves. And one more of our for confluence, we're looking here under the gamma exposure section of QTA. You can tell you right here, Bryant lays it out for you. Price is likely to move towards the direction of the high absolute GEX strikes. Got it. Whenever price is in between number 1 and number 2, a strong trend is harder to form. If both number 1 and number 2 are pointing in the same direction, price is much more likely to move in that direction. So is price right now between number 1 and 2? No, it's below it, right? 163. So we're below this 165. Number 1 and number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5 are all in the same direction. All in the same direction, pointing up towards the gamma flip. The 185 is the highest strike. but not the most voluminous. It's right there with 170. 165 is the most. We already saw that, right? We saw that on this week's GEX chart. Let's combine them both, and let's, you know what? Let's do it all. We'll do it live. F it, we'll do it live. We'll do it all. This is up to the monthly expiration of August 21st. Is August 21st the monthly? Yeah, because look at that. It's 45%. So what do we have here? 165 is still the darling. It's right where we are now. Everyone's a little skittish. We don't really know where we're going to go. But we still have that 170, the 150 as the secondaries. And if we turn on the absolute GEX, we'll see some other shots going up. 200 is always psychological. 185 we spoke of. That's pretty good. 175, 185. But look at the secondary one. Secondary is 170. 170, 175, and 185. All these are good. The 150 is big. It's Mr. Fatty over here. 150. It's a wide absolute GEX. I don't know if that's more of a magnet or not. And that's not really something. I'm just trying to think, like, psychologically, to me, that looks more attractive than a whole bunch of little ones. Or maybe it's not, right? We'll have to ask Brian that one, what he feels about his. What do you think of your tool, Brian? Which one would be better? So just keep in mind, there's attractions all over the place. But where are we going to go first? That's the story. So looking here, we can just use the chart here. We have a double bottom almost, a little breach of this N1. If we start climbing tomorrow, this story makes sense. This is kind of rare. I don't normally see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 all lined up like this. They're not in order of the strike, but they're all, the top 5 are on the same direction. That's pretty big news. So keep an eye out for tomorrow, for the rest of the week, Thursday into Friday, for a retest up around the 180s, 185. Maybe once that momentum goes, 190 makes sense. It makes double sense with the trend line and the resistance here. But I don't think the story is bottoming out here. I think there is more down available from MRVL, more of a correction available. Granted, I would love it if we stopped here. My shares would love it if we stopped here and went back up, and I could stop playing around with puts and subtracting and adding shares. I'm not the best buy and holder yet. You know, I have a portfolio with my boy over at JP Morgan. That's different. My personal portfolio, I'm obsessively just retouching. You know, if I was a painter, there'd be just more branches on a tree and it would look ugly. The point is that I'm trying to get into a buy and hold frame of mind. And you can play puts and calls along with that. But when you're seeing your darling just lose, I'm okay. I'm going to sell most of it. Okay, I'm getting back in here, buy the dip, right? Okay, the dip turned out to be just a pause. So invest the way is more comfortable for you, but just know where the story is looking, right? 150, it's marked here and technically 145, but 150 was pretty bright in the gamma exposure. On the options table, people are looking at 150. And the same thing goes higher. That 185 people are looking at, but technically 190 looks good. So MRVL got the ill communication. I hope this is some type of help, assistance for you. Keep in mind, QTA is one of the greater tools that give you confluence through technical analysis. It lets you know that, hey, you know what? You're not alone. You're thinking of that line being important is not out of the blue. If you're looking to try QTA, come by enthusiast chat, select enthusiast chat when you join. We're going to be in here talking about MRVL this week. Hopefully we'll get some chatter going, and we're going to talk about the SPY also. But this one was just an update for MRVL, and let me know if you guys are investing in MRVL, if you're waiting for the bottom, if you're crying as the river runs red here for the past month, or you're just watching from the sidelines, watching us all fight around for it. All right. This was a haphazard update. This wasn't really planned or scripted, but thanks for coming by, and thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.